Hi, you're tuned in for the Power and Energy News channel, ESI Africa. For this episode, I am speaking with Javier Hernandez from the utility Iberdrola, who is a Prime Alliance member. Welcome, Javier.
Well, thank you, Nicolette, and on behalf of the Prime Alliance, thank you for the opportunity.
All right, so let's start a bit about what has been trending this year, and it's been all about the just energy transition, but also we need to, within that just energy transition, consider the concept of future-proofing the network. So as Prime Alliance, what is your focus in terms of future-proofing the electricity supply industries, infrastructure, and how does that relate to the unique challenges of Africa's utility sector?
Yes, well, the Prime Alliance has been focusing on being able to offer a solution that is end-to-end, open and interoperable, but at the same time flexible. As we understand that the utilities needs are different from one another due to a specific geographical reason, density of customers, type of electricity layout, or regulatory constraints. In this regard, the Prime Alliance is offering a broad range of technological solutions, from narrowband PLC working on the 500 kilohertz spectrum to broadband, which works on the megahertz side, to even the hybrid PLC RF, which basically brings the best of both worlds. On top of that, we also provide a customizable DLMS custom profile that we have named Prime Plus to cover the data layer too. So I would say that the offering of the Prime Alliance is quite unique, as it gives an African utility the option of choosing the most suitable technology or a combination of them within a complete set, within one alliance. I think this is the uniqueness of our proposal. And of course, everything we do on the Prime Alliance, it's following our DNA. So it's all the building blocks are truly open and interoperable.
Mm-hmm. I see there's some fantastic meters that we can see behind you there. So Javier, just talking about metering, we know that this is what forms the stability within a utility, especially for their revenue collection. But what are the new skills that a distribution utilities technical team would need in order to effectively roll out and operate and manage a smart metering infrastructure program?
Yeah, well, I've had some experience specifying and deploying AMI projects around the world, and I think there are two areas that tend to be overlooked. One is planning and logistics. We tend to focus too much on technology, and which is understandable because it's where the novelty is. But technology is rarely the problem. I mean, needless to say, it has to be troubleshooted and tuned here and there. But having a clear deployment planning integrated with your workforce management and the supply chain is more likely to have a larger impact during the rollout than the technology itself. Also, alliances such as the Prime Alliance can help you technically. But once you start a deployment, if any of the points that I just mentioned are not clear, that would produce a domino effect that is hard to fix. The second one, I would say the cultural change and organization. And I know it has been repeated 1,000 times, but I think it's key. Digitalization does not come from applying technology or from restructuring and optimizing processes. There has to be a fundamental change within the organization. On top of that, I would recommend utilities to ensure they have a deep knowledge of the IEC 62056, the LMS custom standard. I personally find this to be quite important because the LMS, as we all know, is the de facto world standard for metering, and it cannot define how we interact with the metering equipment, how data is shared, in what manner. So I think that engineers from the metering department should have some knowledge of this protocol.
Mm-hmm. That's very good points that you've put out there, but also utilities need to juggle how they are going to strategize and also ensure service delivery. So with the inevitability of the changing business model and digitalization of utilities, what strategies do you advise utilities to immediately address, as well as now and in the long term?
In the short term, and continuing with my previous thought, If they don't have a DLMS profile, I would advise them to work on one. Again, besides the obvious benefits, this is a great task to do, a great exercise, basically because you define your use cases, what data and processes you need to sustain them, and if they have any regulatory constraints or implications that they need to worry about. This is a great first step to restructure the metering department towards digitalization and new business models. So you need to have that part clear in order to think about the future. To that end, I think the Prime Alliance is offering its member a very good opportunity. We have a free service which collects information using a simple questionnaire and produces a ready-to-use companion profile tailored to the specific needs of each utility. This profile is complemented with a textbook ready to use by any certification lab to certify meters. I think this is the fastest and most cost-efficient solution for any electrical company looking to standardize their data model. Now, on the long term, the complicated, I guess, thing is I would start evaluating the compounding effects of combining basic AMI functionalities, which is basically what we're discussing. So remote reading, relay connection and disconnection, change of tariffs, alarms and events, with other functions of the smart grid. And I would quote the most common ones, like fault detection, monitoring of medium and low voltage, distributed automation, because AMI itself provides great value, but it is only one of the steps towards a truly smart grid.
Yeah, thank you so much for talking with us today about the different aspects of what utilities can actually do in order to future-proof themselves. And from this, I can see that Prime Alliance definitely has a lot to offer the African utilities.
Definitely. Well, thank you, Nicolette, so much for having us. And again, on behalf of the Prime Alliance, thank you for the opportunity.
Hi, and to our viewers, thank you for watching. Please share and subscribe to ESI Africa for more of this type of content. See you in the next video.